Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about the truck model. So it's a KAMAZ-4310 in 135 scale. It's a Ukrainian military box truck, and as you can see, it's quite an interesting version which might be handy for some diorama ideas. And what I have here on the table, that's the, I would say, final shape of this release, so you should be able to get it from Modelimex. And in case you are searching, that's the kit number 35004. So the box size is typical for such release from ICM. So here is comparison with my hand. We have quite nice box art of this truck during the winter season. And then if I flip over this box, here on the side you can see also some information about the kit. It's written that we have 363 parts and there is no history note unfortunately, but on the opposite side you can see two marking options which are included here, one with a digital camouflage and one in a classic green color. So everything is sealed with the tape, so I'm going to cut through it quickly and we will check everything together. In the meantime, I can also remind you that you can check some other military trucks from ICM on my YouTube channel, and of course you can support me with a small donation. It's quite an easy thing to do because I just updated the PayPal link as some of you asked, and also there is a big red button on the website, so in case you would like to send something for the new kit to be reviewed, you know what to do. So the box structure is standard or classic for ICM. I just need to do it off the table because on such thin format boxes it's usually a bit of a tight fitment with the top lid, and today we have exactly this case. So I just opened the top lid and then I need to open the box, and I can see that all frames, they are supplied into this one plastic bag, so I just need to open it and then we will take a closer look at all of the parts. As you remember, this is the box truck version, so that's why we start with these large panels. And I would say this design is quite simple to build because you just need to combine these panels together. Of course, you should be checking the alignment of these parts, but I don't think it will take a lot of effort. And as you can see, we have the separate doors, so it might be handy for some diorama ideas. But keep in mind that there is nothing inside, so in case you would like to open the doors, you will have to place something inside because otherwise it would look weird with just emptiness inside. Obviously this is not what is going on with the real truck, so that's why it's something to fix. Next we continue with these vinyl tires, so maybe I'll open the plastic bag because there are 7 of them and I can show you only one then because all others are in pairs, but the spare wheel tire is supplied as a single piece element, so here it is, and that's a typical vinyl part. So I would say it's okay for the standard build, but in case you would like to have something more sophisticated, then it's better to go with some aftermarket. But as you can see, we even have some minor features on the tire walls. Obviously not the name of the tire manufacturer, but at least the same pattern as on the real tire. Next we continue with the sprue H1. So this one is specific for today's box version, so I will just zoom out, and here you can see that we have the mud guards, we have also the covers for the stowage boxes, and everything looks fine. But if I flip over these mud guards, you can see the push marks here. This is not a serious problem, just highlighting it so that you won't be surprised. And obviously the mud guards will be probably dirtied a bit, so it will be barely visible on the finished model. Next we have 2 plastic bags with the clear parts, so I'm opening the first one. Here we have the clear parts for the front cab, and as you can see the molding quality looks nice, and the only question is whether we get the masks or masking templates, because otherwise it might be a bit tricky to mask such large elements. But I think I saw some aftermarket for this particular kit for KAMAZ, so you should be able to find something what will help you with assembly. And then the second plastic sprue or second plastic bag contains the clear sprue for the rear box. So as you can see, these are smaller clear inserts, but they should be able I mean, they should look nice, but again, you should be able to mask them properly, so definitely spend some time on this. Next, we continue with another gray plastic sprue. Here I have to zoom out a bit. So here we have the fuel tanks, air filters, also the special bracket for the spare tire, and we have some railings for the roof of this box installation on the rear side. Next, we continue with the wheel rims, which are supplied on 2 identical plastic sprues. And as you can see, the surface details, they look quite nice. So it's just a matter of bringing them out with the washes so that it won't be looking plain, and then you should be good to go. Next, we continue with another sprue which is dedicated to the exhaust and wheel axles, also some parts which will be installed on the main chassis, but as you can see, everything looks nice. The engine should be quite detailed here, so I always wonder how to expose it on KAMAZ, because it's usually under the cab. It's a typical feature of KAMAZ. But maybe it will be useful for some diorama builders if they have some ideas. Next, we continue with the way bigger sprue. It's a sprue A, and here we have a mix of various parts. So I guess I will have to zoom out a bit, and now you should be able to see what I'm talking about here. So we have these 2 large chassis bars. We also have the engine and gearbox parts. There are a lot of things being installed on the engine, so really nice. We have also the special cylinders for the air. We have the wheel axles, as I said before. We have some suspension parts. So in this sense, the model is really detailed, I mean, for the suspension and drivetrain, and it might be worth also thinking through how to add the various wirings, just like on the real truck. And here you can check the parts from the opposite side. So I don't see any possible molding issues. It's just that the parts count is rather impressive for a simple military truck, I would put it this way. Next, we continue with the front cap parts. So this is the final sprue B, and here you have to be careful with the front mask, and I will zoom in so that you can understand why. Because we have the windscreen frame molded in a shape of this very thin border, so it's easy to break. Here you can see also the floor panel. Here we have the back panel. This is the roof. And here we have the dashboard and also some parts for the support. Obviously the seats are molded here, and all of this looks nice. I mean, I like the surface details, but well, the assembly of the front cap might take some time, but at least we have the separate doors, so you can open them if you have some figurines, and here you can check the parts from the opposite side. Okay, and last but not the least is the Decals sheet, which is hidden. Well, there are actually 2 of them. They are hidden in the assembly manual. So first one is dedicated to the Ukrainian army symbols. So I will show them in a second. Here you can see them. The printing quality looks nice, so I don't have any complaints here. And another one is quite funny to see where it comes from, because if you look in the corner you can see that it comes from Cossack vehicle, but as you can see here we have the digital camouflage, which will have to be applied onto one of the marking options, so that's why we have it printed this way. And to be honest, I like this approach because it will save you from doing masking for the digital camouflage, and this is not a great experience to cover everything with the masking tape. Here you just apply the decals and you are good to go. So assembly manual, as you can see, it's a large brochure. We have the short history note here. We continue with the parts map, and I already see some red areas. It means that those parts will not be used. And next, but there are not that many, to be honest. And assembly process starts with the main chassis. As you can see, you assemble some of the suspension parts. Then you continue with the drivetrain. Here is the engine being assembled. So again, you can add some wiring on the engine, especially if you know how to expose it on the finished vehicle. Here we continue with exhaust, the rear wheel axle set, and you can see some drivetrain parts being installed for this full-wheel drive system. We have the fuel tank supports, the oxygen bottles here, mud guards, wheels, that's the spare wheel, and then all of the wheels going into the place, and then finally we start working on the front cap. So there is I would say quite Spartan interior. You can add a bit more features if you have some reference material, but overall, if you don't plan to open the doors, it's more than enough. If you plan to open the doors, maybe it's worth finding the figurine, in my opinion. But here you can see that manufacturer actually shows that you can open the door. That's a nice change, because as far as I remember, there was no such option shown in the previous versions. But maybe I'm wrong, so feel free to write in the comment section. Here we continue also with the support. So for the open front cap to expose the engine. This is really cool. Here we continue with the rear box. So as you remember, nothing inside, it's just empty inside. Then we continue with more parts and accessories being installed onto this box. Here we have also some of the various items which are being used on such boxes. And then we install the box on the main chassis, and then the final stages are involving the front cap. And here you can see, by the way, these are two assembly options, as you can see, with the installed in place front cap or just kicked over in order to expose the engine. Obviously you can also open the doors. Here you can see the first marking option, and here's the second one in a digital camouflage. So overall I think it's a really interesting release in popular scale, and especially considering the fact that ICM also makes the driver figurines in the same scale, this might be a really nice choice to build. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.